Okay, hopefully you can hear me in this video. So I'm going to show you really quickly how to list some items with SKUFetch and WiseLister. As mentioned, in the previous email that I sent you a link to this guide, which is also accessible under the Guides tab of SKUGrid, and you click on SKUFetch WiseLister Guides, it's right there. This has all the tutorials you'll need to get started. We've already done your setup, so you can pretty much skip over all these, but down here, as I was mentioning in the email, there are videos on how to use each lister. The process is no different for any other supplier. But yeah, so, this one here is the one that you were saying you were interested in using, QuickLister. So there's a whole video on that that walks you through that and all of the options there. There's one on Easy Lister, Batch Lister, and Big Product Lister. So if you ever need, additional tutorials on that, please go check those out, definitely. So in order to get started, you would open up SKUFetch.com, log in with your SKUGrid username and ID, username and password. Go to Amazon and find a product. And try to find something. Okay, here's something. Trying to look and see if it's available with Amazon fulfillment or Prime, and it's not. It's only third-party merchant, so I don't want to list that item in particular. So I'm going to go back. Trying to find something simple. Okay. Here's an item that I can list. You have the option. You can either take the entire URL, but anything that starts with a question mark down, you would delete from the URL. You don't want to use all that stuff. You want your Amazon URLs to end with the ASIN number. Or if you just want to copy the ASIN number, you can use that. Either one works. So you'll click on QuickFetch, paste in the URL or the ASIN number. Since this is a variation item, so you see how there's different options to select on Amazon's page, you'll want to hit check variations. This will ensure that you are using the proper ASIN or URL for the item and you're listing the right one for that variation. So here you select which variation you want to use. So let's just say I want to list black. Notice that the ASIN number changed and it formatted it in a full Amazon URL. This is fine. So you click add new item. And it'll take a while, and what's going to happen is QuickFetch is going to retrieve the supplier information. It's going to automatically open up. You see a new tab automatically got open for WiseLister. If for some reason the tab does not open, you can click back to the QuickFetch screen and you would be able to click this link, which would pop you open into WiseLister, but it should be automatically redirecting for you. From here, you can choose this here general auto-fulfilled settings. So there's a bunch of settings that are collapsed so that most people don't edit this stuff. This is like general settings for the item, your policies and all that. So if you need to change anything, you can. You can add item specifics if you want. They're available in a drop-down list with all the values that eBay has. If you needed to add custom item specifics, you can do that. If you're not going to be filling in any of this additional information, you can just hit show more to collapse that back down. So show more opens it, show more also collapses it back down. From there, you move on to step 2. This is your quantity. It's going to pull in the default quantity from your settings. If you want a different default quantity for this particular item, let's just say I want this one set at 3, then you can enter a different value here. You can add the brand. Right now it says Amazon Basics. I'm going to change that because I don't want my listing saying Amazon Basics. So I'm just going to say Cafe Stripe Dinnerware. Leave everything else the same if you want. If you click override price, you'll notice that your selling price right now is right here. It's based off of the default formula that you have in your settings. If you want to have a different selling price, then you can create an override for that item by changing the values in this formula wizard. Like, let's just say I want $5 profit instead of 3. I'm going to come here and enter 5, and you notice my selling price has changed. You can modify any of the values in any of these fields. All right. Next are your images. You can choose what images to display. If you don't want an image to show in the eBay gallery, then you uncheck it. If you want a different image to be the main image, click the star next to it. You'll notice that it also updates in the body of the template. If you need to edit the photos, you can do that too. Totally up to you. This tag button is to rename the photo if you want. It's pretty irrelevant because eBay renames them anyway. So I don't really see a need to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and edit my title to not have Amazon Basics in it. And you can do that. There's a find competition button if you want to look at the competition who's selling the identical item. You can do that. Or if you need help building a title, you can use this get keywords function, and then it will allow you to it'll search for, and you'll be able to click and insert other keywords into your title if you want to. Totally optional. You do however much editing you want. It's not set in stone, and nothing is required. It takes a while for it to fetch this information in. So in any event, I'm going to hit update in description. When I hit update in description, you'll notice that my title down here in the body of my description has also been changed. See, actually, when I did get keywords, it didn't find anything, so disregarding that for now. You do any editing that you want. It's not much that I need to do here. I'm going to take out this Amazon brand out of the description, and I'm just going to copy this stuff over again. You usually don't have to do this. This came up because it's an Amazon product. And that's it. So you do whatever editing you want, and then hit list item. Let it take a few minutes to process. And then once it's processed, it will show you that the item was successfully listed. And it will give you the eBay item number. You will then be able to see the item on both your WiseLister item list and your SKU Fetch item list. So you see it says item was listed, and there's my eBay item number. If I click on item list here, notice I'm in WiseLister. If I click on item list, I'll see it there with the title that I listed it with. This is my modified title, so that's there. This is your eBay item number. You can click it, it goes to the actual listing. And you'll notice that the status here says listed. In Quick Fetch, if I go to my item list, you'll notice that instead of the title displaying, you'll see the supplier URL. This is because SKU Fetch is the one that retrieves supplier information, not WiseLister. WiseLister just allows you to edit the product and list it. SKU Fetch contains all your supplier information. You'll also see the eBay item number and that the item was listed. You'll also see whether or not the item has exported to SKUGrid or not yet. If it hasn't, you just need to give it a little bit of time, but this one already has. I can verify this by copying my eBay item number. I can go to the SKUGrid account. Let's see. Click on my items. You can search for the item number, and you'll see that the item has already started exporting to SKUGrid. Once you list the item, it will initially show up as vendor if it hasn't already been scraped by SKUGrid before, meaning somebody else within our system has the item listed. If no one else has this item in their account, then SKUGrid has never scraped the item. So it's basically going to have to wait and give it some time for SKUGrid to check the item and update it. You'll also notice it doesn't say like last call under here, and there's no price or stock here, and that is because SKUGrid has not checked or looked at this item yet. You'll also know that it hasn't looked at it yet because this date updated will say November 30th and zeros after that. So give it more time. Takes a while to update, depends on your settings and all that. Also, if I open it, remember how well, I did do a different default client. I guess that's not working. Because in my settings in SKUFetch, I have it set to lowest prime in SKUFetch. It automatically adds the lowest prime tag to my URL so that my item will be properly tracked in SKUGrid now that it's exported over. All right, so that's essentially how you list an item. It's nothing really to it. It's the same as the process. Like I said, it's the same as what's here. I'll do another item really quick. I'm going to search for, let's just say, Lego. And let's see. Try to find something. Okay, so here's a Lego set. Again, you can take either the ASIN or the full Amazon URL, but you're not going to do any of the information after the ASIN number. So this one doesn't start with a question mark. It starts with REF. So all that you don't need. But again, you can choose to just grab the ASIN number or the URL. So in this example, I'll grab the URL. I'll hit click fetch. Paste in the URL. Now this one is not a variation item, so I don't need to hit check variations. I'm just going to hit add new item. Again, it will automatically open up in Wise Lister, and you can do as much or little editing as you want to the item. So in this one, I can see right off bat that my title is extremely long. If I put my cursor here and then hit space, I can see that it's 103 characters. eBay only allows 80. So I'm going to try to delete some words so that my title is under 80, or 80 characters are under. Still need more. Lego Marvel superheroes. I'm gonna take out the word building. Kit, and I'm gonna put set in here. Okay, so I've updated my title, so now I'm gonna click update and description. You can change the main image if you want. Boom. I'm not really worried about modifying my pricing. My default formula is fine. You can do any editing that you want. If not, just go ahead and list the item. It's that simple. And that's it, really. I'll go ahead and show you. I'll grab another variation item on Walmart. Now with suppliers like Amazon, where they have unique URLs for each variation, there's no need for you to edit the title, images, and description. But if you were to be using a supplier like Walmart that had variations, they don't have a unique URL, so you would need to edit title, images, and description after selecting which variation you want to list. So I'll find a shoe or something. Boot. All right, so here is a shoe. I'm going to take this ASIN number. I'm going to close out Quick Lister. I'm going to go to Quick Fetch. Back in SKU Fetch again. So you always start with SKU Fetch. Because it's a variation, you see there's a size that needs to be selected in color. So I'm going to hit Check Variations. I'm going to enter the size and which color. So let's just say I'm going to do a 9 black and gray. And you'll notice that the ASIN number and full URL changed. This is fine. I'm going to hit Add New Item. It opens up in Wise Lister. And because my title, images, and description already match the item that's being listed, there's no need for me to edit that information. Now, because it's in the clothing type of category, I do know that eBay is going to require these item specifics to be filled in. So I'm going to call these, I don't know, I guess they're duck boots. I don't know what product line with, I'm just going to say medium. I think that's what it is. Color, I'm just going to choose black. I don't know what heel type. That's the block. There's a lot of information. In any event, I would go ahead. Is this a woman's shoe? Yeah, woman's size. I believe I'm doing a 9. Woman's. U.S. shoe size woman's. So I'm going to do, oh, that says UK. So cancel. I go to U.S. Women's shoe size U.S. 9. And that's what I'm going to do for now. And then, like I said, figure out which image you want to use as the main. Figure out if you want to update anything or not. And then hit List Item. And we'll see if I get any errors. Or if it just posts. All right, item was posted. No problems there. So as you can see, all of these items have posted. If I go to my quick fetch, my SKU fetch item list, you'll notice that these 3 items have listed, but this last one that I did with the shoe, it's still pending export to SKUGrid, so it hasn't gotten over there yet. I can go back over to my SKUGrid account, refresh. And you'll see it still hasn't really done anything with this item yet. The other one, it's in there as vendor as well. And this one probably has exported now. So if I click the item list again, you'll see now it has exported to SKUGrid. So now I can look for it. So there it is. So, you know, thing is, it just needs some time to check and update everything. Really depends on your settings. So, but I mean, that's how you list items. So hopefully this is helpful. And again, there's more in-depth tutorials here. All right, thanks.